Roll it down all the way so I can talk to you better.
We can talk, right? I mean,
roll it down all the way. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
What law is that?
Why are you starting this, man?
We're starting right here, mid-conversation, because this is the moment that sets the tone for everything that follows. Trooper Jackson of the Arkansas State Police hasn't explained why he pulled James over yet, hasn't asked for a license. The very first thing out of his mouth is a command about the window.
Well, you're telling me to roll my window. We can talk, right?
Yeah, roll it down more.
But why?
So I can talk to you better, man. I'm not going to talk to you through a crack like this.
We can talk.
I'm not trying to be rude to you, anything like that.
I'm really not trying to be rude to you either, but...
So what's the deal? Why don't you want to roll it down all the way?
Because I don't have to.
You want to? You just trying to be difficult?
I'm not trying to be difficult. Do you want my license registration?
Yeah. You're trying to be difficult. That's the trooper's response to a citizen who said no and offered his documents. Not here's the legal basis for my request. Just, you're difficult. That framing is going to follow this entire stop, and we're going to take it apart.
Yeah, if you don't care.
What's the reason for stopping me?
Good question. But before we get to the reason for the stop, let's answer the window question because it actually matters legally. Arkansas Code, Section 27-49-107 says no person shall willfully refuse to comply with any lawful order of a police officer. Keyword, lawful. The statute gives zero guidance on what makes an order lawful, and courts across the country have split on this exact question. Alabama court said in 1975, a police order is only lawful if it's directly related to the direction, control, and regulation of traffic. Rolling a window down all the way? Not traffic regulation. Not a lawful order under that standard. Ohio court said the opposite in 2016. Compliance is required regardless of whether the order relates to traffic. Arkansas has never ruled on this at all, which means James was right to ask, what law is that? Because there may not be one.
First off, okay, I'm Trooper Jackson Little with the Arkansas State Police, okay?
I appreciate that.
The reason I'm pulling you over is speeding. You know how fast you're going?
I do.
How fast are you going?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Stop right there. How fast are you going? That is a Fifth Amendment moment. The officer who just accused you of speeding is now asking you to confirm it. Answering that question means furnishing evidence against yourself. The Fifth Amendment says no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. And the Supreme Court in Hoffman versus United States, 1951, confirmed that protection covers anything that could become a link in a prosecution chain. James spots it immediately. Correct.
Okay, I got you going 87 in the 65, man. That's a little quick.
I got this dash cam here.
Yeah.
And it records my speed.
Okay, how fast does it say you're going?
I'm not going to answer that question, but
okay.
I know it wasn't that.
Different phrasing, same question, same goal. How fast would you say you're going? This is a second attempt to get a voluntary admission after the first one failed. James doesn't take the bait and he adds something smart. I know it wasn't that, meaning he's not denying he knows his speed, he's just not telling the trooper. That's exactly the right balance.
Like why are you just being so defensive and argumentative?
With what?
Everything I'm saying.
Defensive and argumentative. There it is, the same reframe we've seen before on this channel. Asserting your Fifth Amendment right gets relabeled as a personality flaw. Don't accept that framing. The Fifth Amendment exists precisely so you don't have to justify using it.
Let's start over.
We're not going to argue.
I don't want to argue with you, but
okay.
Let's start over.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
My name's James. You have my
nice
ID
to meet
here.
You, man.
And I just don't... The reason for the window, I'm not trying to be defensive or argumentative or anything.
Yeah.
I just don't like to have it all the way down.
Why's that?
I just don't.
Why is that, man?
I just don't.
Okay, okay. Everyone's different, I guess.
Let's start over. And then he immediately goes back to the window. He said, let's start over, and then didn't. James answers, I just don't, 3 times. That's it. He doesn't owe an explanation. I just don't is a complete answer.
Everything looks good here. So you don't think you were speeding?
I don't want to answer any questions regarding that.
Why not?
Why not? The trooper is now asking James to explain why he's invoking his Fifth Amendment right. He doesn't have to. The Supreme Court held in Ohio versus Reiner 2001 that the privilege applies to the innocent as well as the guilty. Even if James genuinely wasn't going 87, he still has the right to say nothing. You do not need to justify your silence.
I don't think it's a huge deal to not...
Something, you know, if you don't think you're going that fast, something could be wrong with your car or something, man. You know, you never know that.
It's 2021.
Rude, nothing like that, man.
I'm not trying to be rude either.
I know you're being nice now, so I appreciate that.
Well, I feel like I've been nice.
Yeah, it's the deal is, man, we go, you know, if you give us signs by not being cooperative by the little things.
We're not
Sometimes
cooperating?
Just listen. Let me talk, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Those little things can mean a lot sometimes, man. For all you know, you could be trying to hide something, anything like that. So those are just little clues.
Little clues. Let's be precise about what this means legally. The trooper is suggesting that exercising your constitutional rights is evidence of suspicious behavior. That silence makes you look guilty. The Supreme Court rejected this directly in Florida versus Royer, 1983. Refusal to cooperate does not, without more, furnish reasonable suspicion. It's not a clue, it's a right.
Are we just operating within the bounds of the law right now?
We are.
Then
But those are just little clues, man. I mean, it's kind of weird when you don't want to roll your window down on the way. It's just a little weird, man.
it's a little weird that you're just demanding I do something. You said that you're not asking, you're telling me, and you don't have the legal grounds to tell me to roll my window all the way down.
That's legally precise. He correctly identifies the distinction between a request and a command, and correctly challenges the legal basis for the command. And he's right. As we covered in segment 1, Arkansas courts have never established that a window down order is lawful under state law.
That was a lie.
A lie?
Yeah.
It's not a lie.
Do I have to roll my window
I
down?
can make a bigger deal out of that. I'm not going to, though.
Do I have to roll my window down all the way? Is that a
I do
law?
what I asked, man.
Is that a law?
And if you think that's violating whatever, we can take it to court.
We can take that one to court. That is not a law that I have to have my window all the way down.
Like that. But like I said, it's speeding, man. It's not a huge deal.
And I understand that, and that's why I feel like we got off on the wrong foot, because you were telling me to do something that I don't have to.
I can tell you to do whatever I want. If you think it's violating,
you can tell me to do whatever you want.
If you think it's a violation of whatever thing you're talking about, we can take it.
I can tell you to do whatever I want. That is the exact position courts have struck down. The Alabama court in Coughlin versus State specifically said the lawful order statute cannot give police unbridled power to arrest for refusal to obey any order they may choose to direct at a citizen. Unbridled. That word matters. No officer has unlimited authority to issue any command they want.
I don't think you violated anything right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good deal.
No, I think we have a disagreement on what the law says on the window.
What's the deal, man? Honestly, what?
Well, there's zero deal.
Okay, so just what?
You've got me stopped.
Yeah.
You're accusing me of speeding, you say.
Yeah.
I've handed you my documents. I'm doing everything I'm legally required to do.
That sentence is the whole framework right there. Stop your vehicle, done. Provide license and registration, done. That is the complete list of legal obligations at a traffic stop. Everything else is discretionary. James knows this.
What's so hard about just click?
Well, what's wrong with, you said that so we can talk, but we're talking right now, so
there's nothing
what
wrong
other
with it,
reason
man.
is there?
I'm just curious, honestly, why you can't just roll it down all the way.
I
don't know, why don't
I'm
you
just
like
curious of why you're so stuck on it.
it just blows my mind, why can't you just roll it down all the way, man?
It blows my mind that you can't let it go. I thought we moved past this.
It's just a little funny to me, man. I'm behind the whole cop thing, I'm just kind of curious why you won't do it.
I just don't think that I am legally obliged to do that.
He said, good deal 2 minutes ago, and here we are still on the window. This is the 4th time asking since he said, let's move on. James's answer hasn't changed. I'm not legally obliged to do that. Correct. Still correct.
Yeah, I'm saying beyond that, why don't you just want to? What's the big deal? You see, are you afraid or what?
I like my window. Well, I think that, a man approaches my car with a gun and...
Yeah, I'm not here to hurt you or anything like that.
I fully believe that, but I'm allowed to have my defenses up, right?
Am I allowed to have my defenses up? Yes. Unambiguously, yes. The First and Fourth Amendments don't require you to be comfortable with police contact. They don't require you to trust a specific officer in front of you. James's caution is not a character flaw. It's a rational response to a real-world context, and it's entirely his right.
Not every cop's a bad cop, so I'm not here to hurt you like that, man.
And I'm fully on the side of the police.
Yeah.
But I
appreciate that.
Yeah, I have my ways I got to do things.
Yeah. I was just saying behind the whole cop thing, I was just kind of curious why you didn't want to behind the whole I'm the cop, you're the violator, whatever. Just kind of curious why you didn't want to roll it down. So
yeah, I just like it where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's different.
Sure.
Not every cop is bad. Probably true. But the Fourth and Fifth Amendments don't ask whether this specific officer is a good person. They apply regardless. James's caution is not an insult to Trooper Jackson personally. It's constitutional common sense.
Put your stuff back, man. Here's what we're doing, okay?
All right.
Your record looked pretty dang good. I didn't see a speeding warning or ticket on there, okay?
Okay.
I'm calling you out for the warning, okay?
I really
you don't think you're going that fast, but radar said you were, but I'm not writing you a ticket.
That's what I was going to ask, is if you're on radar, because I'm not lying to you. I wasn't going that fast.
How fast? Since we're beyond that, how fast was it?
I really can't answer that question.
The warning has been issued. The stop is functionally over, and the trooper still asks how fast he was going. The Fifth Amendment doesn't have an expiration point in the middle of a traffic stop. It's still in effect. James is still correct to say nothing.
I need a ticket, man. It's a warning, so I'm just curious what it says.
I understand, but there's a formality that's got to take place there.
What do you mean formality?
My right to remain silent on things.
He names it out loud on camera. My right to remain silent on things. That is exactly what Salinas versus Texas requires. You cannot just stay quiet, you must verbally invoke the privilege. James does this every time throughout this stop, and he does it again here. Each invocation is on the record.
I'm not going to walk back there and rewrite a ticket, man. I can promise you that. I'm just curious.
I can promise I won't answer the question.
You have my word. I'm not going to do that. I promise you. That's on my camera.
A verbal promise from an officer during a traffic stop is not legally binding. The trooper can say, "I promise," and then walk back to his car and write a citation. Nothing prevents that. James correctly treats the promise as irrelevant. His Fifth Amendment right doesn't evaporate because an officer pinky swears.
And you got camera?
I do.
Do you run body cam?
No, we run a body mic. So
okay.
See, we're troopers.
Yeah.
We don't go into houses, anything like that, really. So
right.
There's really no need for everything's on camera right here, so there's no need for me to have a body camera like this. But
note what James doesn't do here. He doesn't relax just because the trooper mentions being on camera. The dash cam is already running. That dash cam records his speed. If James had just confirmed his speed verbally and the trooper changed his mind about the warning, that dash cam footage could potentially be obtained with a warrant. Riley versus California, 2014. Police need a warrant for digital data, but they can get one. Staying silent protects more than just the conversation.
Makes sense.
But yeah, man, what's your name again?
My name's James.
Okay, nice to meet you, man. I'm
You
Jackson.
Too.
Nice to meet you.
You too. What was your badge number?
587.
587. Is any of that going to be on the?
Oh, let's see. It should be. Yeah, name's right there. Badge number's right there. Okay.
Perfect, man.
But yeah, besides that, man, I know you don't think you're speed. My radar said you were, but just be careful, okay?
Absolutely.
Like I said, not every cop's bad, man.
We're
here to keep people
I think
safe,
the majority of police are good.
Yeah.
You know, the saying goes, "A few bad apples spoil the bunch."
Yeah.
And I think that's a bad case of what's happening.
Just keep that in mind, man. Some guys might not be as nice about it as me, but
sure.
Clearly, I'm saying you're clearly not a bad dude. So
I'm not I try to function within the bounds of the law. You know, that's it.
Yeah. Some guys, they might have sat here and made you get out of the car and stuff, but you're. Like I said, you're clearly not a bad guy, so I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it, but just...
and I appreciate that.
James asks for the badge number. Do this every single time. Write it down. It's on camera. It takes 5 seconds and creates a permanent record of who you interacted with. If anything about this stop becomes a problem later, you have a name and a number. Some guys might not be as nice about it as me. That's meant as friendly advice. Maybe it is. But it's also a soft warning. Next time, you might not get someone who lets this slide. James takes it in stride. The stop ends cordially. A warning, a handshake. Both men walk away. That's what exercising your rights actually looks like in practice. No drama, just the Constitution doing its job. Here's what this stop was actually about.
Roll it down all the way. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
What law is that?
A legally unresolved command. Arkansas has never ruled on whether a window order is enforceable. James was right to question it.
How fast are you going?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Fifth Amendment invoked correctly, immediately, the moment the trap was set.
Those little things can mean a lot sometimes, man. For all you know, you could be trying to hide something, anything like that. So those are just little clues. I'm not saying you are.
Silence is not a clue. It's a right. Florida versus Royer says so directly.
I can tell you to do whatever I want. If you think it's violating,
you can tell me to do whatever you want?
No, courts have specifically rejected that position. Unbridled authority is not a thing.
My right to remain silent on things.
I'm not going to walk back there and rewrite it.
Even after the warning, even after, I promise, the Fifth Amendment doesn't expire mid-stop.
What was your badge number?
Always get the badge number. Trooper Jackson, B-. He stayed calm, didn't escalate, and issued a warning instead of a citation. Credit for that. But he opened with a legally questionable order and zero statutory basis. He treated James's silence as suspicious behavior, which courts have rejected. He said, "Let's start over," and then kept asking about the window. And nearly every question he asked was designed to get a voluntary speed admission. The friendly demeanor doesn't change what the questions were designed to do. James, a minus, Textbook fundamentals. He challenged the window order immediately and correctly, invoked the Fifth Amendment explicitly every single time, refused to answer speed questions even after the warning, and got the badge number before leaving. Slight deduction. I don't want to answer questions about that works, but I am invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent is cleaner under Salinas. Minor critique on an otherwise clean stop. Give Ensuring Transparency's channel your support. Link in the description.
Bravo stepped in human shit today, which in my opinion is worse than a human stepping in dog shit. I think most of you would agree.
Welcome back. Today we're watching a man get harassed for parking in a private lot for 2 minutes while picking up food. 2 minutes? His name is Mr. Proctor, delivery driver, YouTuber, and co-pilot to his dog Bravo. The officer who stopped him, based on his nameplate and public pay records I was able to locate, appears to be Officer Carlos Cordova of the SFPD K-9 unit. I can't confirm that with absolute certainty, but I'll refer to him as Officer Cordova throughout. And notice what Mr. Proctor just said. He wasn't blocking traffic, he wasn't in a fire lane, he was just parked in a private lot for a carry-out order. Keep that in mind as we watch Cordova proceed to waste the next 7 minutes of everyone's time.
Everything okay?
Do I need to answer any of your
You
questions?
don't have to answer anything, dude.
Okay,
You don't have to. Lucky you stand here all day. I get paid either way.
Can you go ahead and finish your job
Saying,
so I can carry on?
what's it with the anger, dude?
I'm not angry.
You're not angry? You always talk to everybody like that?
I'm not angry.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to go ahead and wrap things up, please.
Oh, okay.
Right out of the gate, Mr. Proctor asked the right question. Do I have to answer anything? And Cordova gives him a legally correct answer, no, you don't. That's the Fifth Amendment doing exactly what it was designed to do. The Fifth Amendment says no person shall be compelled to be a witness against himself. That includes parking stops. That includes right now. But then Cordova can't help himself. I get paid either way. I can stand here all day. That tells you everything about the energy this officer brought to a 2-minute parking stop. Not let me wrap this up and get you on your way. Just a power flex. A reminder that he controls the clock and you don't. File that line away. We're going to hear it again. And then, what's up with the anger? Mr. Proctor wasn't angry. He was direct. There's a difference. But this is a classic move. Reframe a citizen asserting their rights as aggression so they look like the problem. Don't buy it. And even if Mr. Proctor was a little annoyed, that's First Amendment protected expression. The Supreme Court in Terminiello versus Chicago in 1949 was explicit. Free speech includes expression that stirs unrest or even anger. You are allowed to be irritated at a cop. You just can't threaten them or physically interfere. Mr. Proctor did neither.
All right, well, you know, I'll give you a break on it, but you know what I'm saying? This isn't a parking spot, okay, dude?
You're not giving me a break. You're harassing me at this point. I'd like to leave. May I leave now, please?
Well, do you understand?
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
All right. So do you understand why I stopped you?
Do I need to answer any more of your questions?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Okay. But then again, I could do this all day too.
Okay.
All right. So, would you like to leave?
I'd like to leave. May I leave now, please?
Mr. Proctor, would you like to leave?
Do I need to answer any more of your questions?
Hello. No. I'm not the one that's acting this way. Okay. I'm just asking you to do. You know, I'm trying to give you a break here. All right.
I prefer you just write me the parking ticket and let me go.
There it is. I could do this all day for the second time. First at 5:15, now again at 5:50. This is not a slip of the tongue. This is a deliberate pressure tactic. I have unlimited time and you don't, so you might as well talk. Here's the legal reality. No, Officer Cordova, you cannot do this all day. What you just described is a Fourth Amendment violation in slow motion. The Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable seizures, and a detention that exists solely to pressure a citizen into waiving their Fifth Amendment right to silence is exactly that. The Supreme Court in Illinois versus Cabales in 2005 was explicit. A stop becomes unlawful when prolonged beyond the time reasonably needed to complete its mission. The mission here was a parking check. That mission was over. Everything after that is a Fourth Amendment problem. And I'm giving you a break. This phrase is designed to make Mr. Proctor feel like he owes Cordova something, like exercising your Fifth Amendment right is an inconvenience the officer is generously tolerating. Mr. Proctor nailed it. You're not giving me a break, you're harassing me. Now the part most people miss, This stop happened on private property. California Vehicle Code does not cover parking violations on private lots. There are 3 narrow exceptions: fire lanes, disabled spaces, EV-only zones, and Mr. Proctor was in none of them. A 2011 opinion from then AG Kamala Harris confirmed it. You can only cite someone for parking that violates actual law, not a property owner's informal rules. Cordova had almost no valid legal basis to write this ticket at all, and yet here he is, bragging about how long he can drag it out.
Right in front of the Hawaiian driving, all right? Yeah. So just let you know what's going on. We're having another guy coming over real quick. Traffic guy with a side book, since you want a ticket. So otherwise, I didn't want to go through all this hassle. You know what I'm saying?
Is that Queensland?
I'm sorry, I'm sure you're a nice guy. I'm not in the mood to have conversation about my dog.
Oh, okay. Looks like one.
What's up, Gene? Okay, right in front of the barbecue. I switched vehicles, so I was gonna give the guy a warning, but I guess he wants a citation.
Cordova just called for backup on a private lot parking stop because a citizen asked to leave and wouldn't make small talk. And listen to what he tells the second officer: I was going to give the guy a warning, but I guess he wants a citation. That sentence is an admission. Mr. Proctor didn't do anything new. He didn't become more of a parking violation between 5:09 and 7:37. The only thing that changed is that he exercised his rights, and Cordova just told us on camera that that is why he's escalating to a citation. That's retaliation for constitutionally protected conduct. That's not okay.
Don't be long. Hopefully I'm not keeping you from anything, am I? No, I don't like talking to them. All right. Is everything okay? Is there any other issues or anything going on that I should know of?
Do I need to answer your questions?
You don't have to answer anything, but I'm concerned about your well-being. Is there something wrong?
Do I need to answer any of your questions?
Well, yeah, if there's something wrong, it would be nice, yeah.
Do I need to answer any of your questions?
You don't have to talk to me, I'm just saying. I'm just concerned about your well-being, that's all I'm saying. Usually we don't get people hostile.
I've not been hostile.
Okay. Well, usually we don't get people wanting a ticket, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through all this. I could be having my lunch right now. And you too. Hey, Gene, where are you coming from, man? Daly City? There's a lot of traffic. Dang, dude, it's gonna start raining out here.
Now we've got officer number 2 trying the soft approach, small talk, casual, just chatting. And Mr. Proctor just keeps repeating the same thing 3 times in a row. Do I need to answer your questions? This is exactly right. Every single question this officer is asking right now is an attempt to get Mr. Proctor to waive his Fifth Amendment right on camera. Where are you coming from? Sounds harmless. It's not. It establishes your movements, your timeline, your state of mind. How's your dog? Is a rapport builder designed to get you talking so you lower your guard. The Fifth Amendment exists precisely for moments like this, and Mr. Proctor invokes it every single time. Then the officer complains he's missing lunch. Let that land. He showed up to write a citation was after Cordova called for backup because a citizen asked to leave, and now he's annoyed his lunch is interrupted. The self-awareness here is something else, and then it's going to start raining out here. Even the weather becomes a pressure tactic. Just get in the car, wrap this up, stop making this difficult. Mr. Proctor doesn't move. I have not been hostile. 3 words. Said quietly, completely true. He never raised his voice, never cursed, never threatened anyone. He just kept asserting his rights. If that reads as hostile to these officers, that tells you everything about their expectations.
I know, people are rude nowadays. You know? Alright. Alright, so how long is it gonna take you to get here? No, I'm in here in a lot. I'm in a lot. Yeah. You know. All right. Well, hopefully you have it, because I'm gonna let this guy go. It's just you know. This is gonna be more. Yeah. Yep. Nah. All right, dude. Well, we'll be waiting, dude. Hurry up, dude. It's kind of my lunchtime.
This is the moment that says everything without anyone saying anything. The officer is on the radio calling a third person to come bring paperwork for a parking stop in a private lot for 2 minutes of parking. Mr. Proctor is just standing there, not complying, not chatting, not giving them anything. And they have nothing to do but wait for backup number 2 to show up with a citation form. Count the resources this stop consumed. Cordova initiated it, called in a second officer when Mr. Proctor wouldn't talk. That second officer is now calling a third person for paperwork.
Hey, Mr. Proctor, can I give you your stuff so you can leave?
Can you?
I can, but you're the one. I would have let you go a long time ago.
What do I need to do for you to hand me my documents so I can
I'll
leave?
give it to you right now. I just want to know that so you're okay, because usually I don't get people all this.
What do I need to do for you to hand me my documents so I can be on my way?
You're okay.
I don't need to answer any of your questions.
Hey, there we go again. Jesus Christ. You know? I'm trying to say that...
You're trying to display your power to me right
No,
now.
I'm concerned about it. Is there a problem to be concerned about another human being?
You have no reason to be concerned about me.
So it's okay then. You're okay. Then
You can hand me my documents and I can be on my way. Or we can...
Okay. So if I hand you your stuff, you'll be fine and taken off, and you're not angry, right? You're not gonna... Okay, here, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take a chance on you, all right? Here, Mr. Proctor, everything's cool, all right? We're blocking traffic here to your stuff. All right, hopefully you have a good day. Everything works out for you, all right?
Am I free to leave now?
Yes, you are.
Could you please step away from the vehicle?
Yes, I will.
What do I need to do for you to hand me my documents so I can leave? That question should not need to be asked. The citation was written, the stop was functionally over, and Mr. Proctor still had to ask twice on camera to get his own property back. Withholding someone's documents to pressure them into talking is a Fourth Amendment detention issue. You are being seized as long as you don't have your ID back and can't leave. You're trying to display your power to me right now. That is the line of this entire video. No yelling, no profanity, just a calm, precise, accurate observation about what was actually happening. Mr. Proctor said what everyone watching was thinking. And then, I'm going to take a chance on you. Take a chance, as if Mr. Proctor's right to leave is something the officer is granting as a personal favor, as if detention is the default and freedom of movement is the exception. That framing is exactly what's wrong here. And notice, even after the officer says he can go, Mr. Proctor still asks, "Am I free to leave now?" That's not paranoia. That's smart. Get it verbal. Get it on camera. Because if you walk away without that confirmation and the officer later claims you fled, you want that moment documented. So let's close the book on this one. Here's what just happened. A legally questionable stop on private property based on parking rules. California law almost certainly doesn't give police authority to enforce. A stop that was deliberately prolonged past its legal purpose to pressure a citizen into talking, a Fourth Amendment problem under cabals. A citation issued as a punishment for asserting constitutional rights. Retaliation for protected conduct. On camera, in Cordova's own words, 3 officers, 1 man, 1 dog, a private parking lot, and a citizen who stood his ground the entire time without raising his voice once. That's the whole episode right there.
Clearly these California cops have nothing better to do with their time. I'm parked out of everybody's way. It's not a parking spot, but I'm out of everybody's way. And this guy's going full bonkers on me. Guy's a real jerk.
Officer Cordova, D. He told Mr. Proctor early on that he didn't have to answer questions. I'll give him that single point of credit. Everything after that was ego. He prolonged a legally shaky stop, called for backup because a citizen asked to leave, and by his own admission upgraded a warning to a citation because Mr. Proctor wouldn't engage. That's not policing, that's retaliation. Second officer, D+. Softer approach, same problem. He kept Mr. Proctor there past any reasonable purpose, tried small talk and weather chat to wear him down, and capped it off with, "I'm gonna take a chance on you." As if letting someone leave a private parking lot is a personal favor he's doing them. Mac Proctor. A textbook. He invoked his rights explicitly every single time, stayed calm through sustained pressure from multiple officers, never gave them anything to work with, and called out exactly what was happening in real time. Go support Off-Grid Odyssey channel, link in the description.